How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout. I'm your host, FaZe Crypto, and today I would like to sort of have a heart-to-heart about really what's going on with Bitcoin, and the potential for a price drop in Bitcoin has been looming for quite some time, and I suppose we all need to look at this as a potentiality, and I suppose right now we're reaching a juncture where essentially, it's always good to have some fiat. Let's be honest. It's never a total bad idea to keep at least, whatever percentage of your portfolio is comfortable with you in various different asset classes. And of course, Bitcoin is very volatile. And I wouldn't be obviously this video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not your financial advisor. Obviously, I'm not your dad, and I'm only here telling you my opinion. So, of course, do your own research and come to your own conclusions. But we do have Rich Dad, Poor Dad author, Coronavirus will send Bitcoin parabolic. So Bitcoin ultimately stands to go parabolic after the coronavirus ends. The author of the world's best-selling personal finance book says in a tweet on April 15th, of course, argued that the coronavirus pandemic was great for Bitcoin. So the largest cryptocurrency, which has broadly stabilized since crashing to 3,700 in mid-March, is now one of the best investments available. U.S. Gov printing 10 trillion in fake U.S. Is to save U.S. Fed printing 10 trillion to save Showdown. Of course, that's sort of relevant to exactly what I want to talk about. Like I wanted to start off of the video talking about, the pros and cons of having money in either sort of asset classes, whether you want to be invested in the stock market, Bitcoin, or just have your money in whatever USD or whatever your local currency is, whatever part of the world you're actually watching this from. But suffice it to say, the question is, of course, with the pandemic and all these different situations that we're facing right now, I think that it is a very important conversation that you should be having within your household. As far as the longevity of the asset, and I would say ultimately long term, very bullish on Bitcoin. So I want to play this video right here. This is from 1991, it's Milton Friedman, who said, quote, "I would like to have money controlled by a computer." This is just an interesting point, I would say, to add to the conversation. So let's watch Milton, and then we'll get right back to my analysis and, of course, the news coverage of the day.
I'd like to get rid of the Federal Reserve, too. I would like to have money controlled by a computer. However, that's not what's happening, and I'm a realist. You're going to have a Federal Reserve System, and therefore it's relevant to ask, given that there is a Federal Reserve System, even though it would be a better world if we could get rid of them, how should Federal Reserve operate? I'd like to get rid of the Federal Reserve, too. I would like to have money controlled by a computer.
So definitely interesting perspective there. Thank you, Mr. Friedman, for your contribution to the video today. It will be interesting to see. We have Bitcoin sees rocketing new user inflow.
So I would see the question of Bitcoin as a really more of a question of when, and not necessarily a question of if anymore. I would say that the catalysts are all in place. But Mark Cuban, this is what it would take for me to change my mind about Bitcoin. So billionaire Mark Cuban has always been cautious when it comes to Bitcoin, despite being an investor in businesses built on cryptocurrency, and even personally investing in Bitcoin himself. He frequently warns others to be careful because he finds it to be a gamble. Cuban has gone as far as to say he would rather have bananas than Bitcoin because at least as food, bananas have intrinsic value, he told Wired.com in September. What would it take for the Shark Tank investor to change his mind and comfortably support Bitcoin? It would have to be so easy to use. It's a no-brainer, Cuban said. The Pomp podcast on Wednesday. It would have to be completely friction-free and understandable to everyone first. So easy, in fact, that grandma could do it. Then you could say it in an alternative gold. So and I think he does have an interesting point there. I mean, public keys and private keys definitely do have it. There is sort of a learning curve, an intellectual barrier to managing Bitcoin. But hell, I think that's probably one of our greatest advantages is early. I mean, just regular old Joes buying zero point 0.1 Bitcoin at a time. I'd say that's probably one of our best advantages as of currently. So according to official registry, blockchain enterprise platform gets listed on Russia's official registry, which is interesting. Bitcoin sees rocketing new user inflow. So I think adoption is sped up, but still it's a slow crawl. But all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Comment down below letting us know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure you subscribe and have a good one.